better. Good morning to
Morning,
you once again.
Morning.
I mean, Roland, I am highly disappointed in what Kenneth Festus Abuaji has done this morning.
You're disappointed?
So disappointed. And, you know, they cannot. No, don't let the military think that they are above criticism.
Well, he says it's a technical issue.
What is technical? He himself is not abreast with the full facts.
Why?
So based on what is he drawing conclusions? In any case, when someone uses the word useless, what does it mean? It means you are not being used to your optimal levels. He himself concluded that the Ghana Armed Forces is level 2 what? Helicopters, meaning that the army is performing below its levels. Therefore, it's being used less, and therefore it's useless. So he rather came in to confirm the position of Suhuyini. Don't let us shy away from dealing with the substantives.
What are the substantives?
The substantives are
that this is a technical institution.
So
they operated based on deployment of SOPs.
Yes. So he is assuming that all of us have had military training like he has had, and so we must understand their standard operating procedures.
And talk like that.
And talk like that. That is a wrong premise. Now, when you go and watch football as a football fan, what do you use to measure the performance of the players? Is their output.
Whether they score a goal,
absolutely,
passed well.
The Ghanaian can only measure whether or not the Ghana Armed Forces is doing well by their actions and inactions after the fact, or when there is an issue happening and they are, as it were, the way and manner they handle it. I dare say that the way and manner they handle this issue from the civilian perspective, totally wrong, though we are waiting for final report. But the visuals that we have seen, the whole way and manner the military responded, does not give us that encouragement. That is why some of us have restrained ourselves waiting for the final report. And the report, from my perspective, is not to blame anybody, but rather to, as it were, enhance or better the way and manner we do the things. So if someone comes here and says that the military has been useless in this, you must rather pat the person at the back, and not to come and say, he should come here and say what?
You said the person is not an expert.
What is expert in this? Is it not a fact that the plane crashed? Is it not a fact that when the plane crashed, the military could not cordon the place? Is it not a fact that there wasn't any proper coordination, and as we speak, we are lacking information? Is it not a fact that he himself just told us that the military has only 2 helicopters and that they are not being used in their optimal...
No, he said the active ones, the ones that are flying.
Yes.
But they have others.
So that is what we are dealing with. Those that are flying are only 2, out of which one is what? Crashed. So by his admonition, what it means is that today, when we are attacked, our army will not be able to do anything, and so they are useless.
No, I don't understand.
But that is the conclusion of what he has said. That if you are supposed to fly in times of need, in times of difficulty, the army is supposed to go into the front line, and we have no means of flying, they will just be idle. Wouldn't they be useless? So he has confirmed it. You understand? Look, I have said that the policy, we have that policy in a great transformation plan. I think the NDC also wants to implement it, that we must make it mandatory that our secondary school leavers or university graduates must go through some military training. So all of us will begin to appreciate the way and manner they go through things. Until that, the military must not assume that whatever they are doing, they are in an island, that they are not responsible to us. They have to be explaining matters to us. I, for once, don't blame them that much, because there is a principle that the folly of doing A while so people be. You are not investing much into the army, and we expect that we want to equate them to the U.S. Army.
Let's talk about that.
Is
that problematic?
It's problematic. I checked the appropriation bill for 2025. The military is being given 6.3 billion Ghana cedis. Now, out of that 6.3 billion Ghana cedis, 5.8 of it is going into compensation. That is salaries and emoluments. How much are we investing in CAPEX, goods and services? We are not going to buy your planes here and there. So how do you expect to compare to the U.S. Army, which is spending about 1.06 trillion on their military? So it's day and night. And that is why resource allocation, buying a robust helicopter, wouldn't cost you more than $15 million. But we found more than $22 million and gave it to David Ajay to just design. David Ajay got $22 million above just designing what you call the National Cathedral. You find $97 million just to go and dig a hole. That is the priority of the nation. So I know the army as a priority. And so when these things come, I expect Kenal Body them to face the music, look straight into those that have been, as it were, misinvesting in this country, to tell them, oh, enough is enough. Don't let us embellish anything.
Do you think that the exhibition that so far we've seen, in terms of the response plan, whether it's the sectoral agencies or even the military to their own, also shows that perhaps the politicization of defense budgets, procurement, and that conversation itself perhaps needs to be depoliticized?
Absolutely. I mean, our democracy has not grown to the levels that where we can always come to a compromise position. We are always happy to draw in politics just to, as to push away very beautiful policies. But you can't play with the military. We are only fortunate that we have not been faced with any serious situation in this country. But the day that situation will face this country, that's where we will see our folly. And these things happen just to draw the attention of the state that, hey, you are not immune to facing difficulties, and that you must prepare for difficult times and not always to be sitting in your comfort zone and think that, oh, we are always praying. Ghanaians have that mentality that because we go and pray, we cannot be faced with any challenge. This must be a turning point.
What should we be doing right?
We must, as it were, allocate more resources to our military. We must modernize our military. The days of going for macho men and wearing dark shades is over. Now militaries around the world are using sophistication. IT. They are doing all the sophistications. They are doing all the hackings. Look, the other time we had a problem with Argentina. They threatened the whole country that if we don't take it, they will hack our Bank of Ghana system. We were begging. Because we didn't have what it takes to stop that.
They didn't have Ghana Web.
Can you imagine?
Ghana Web was
so when we say security of a nation, now it has moved beyond the physical confrontation to the IT levels. How cautiously do we recruit people into our military? Taking into consideration these professionals.
With the right expertise.
Absolutely. That is the way we must go. Secondly, we must reinforce the point that our secondary schools, our JHS, our university graduates, they must test military trainings. That will bring discipline into the system. That would also let us appreciate what we call security. I have never seen, you go to various, most of our schools, that these kids are not being taught how to even swim. We spend time on unnecessary things. This must be the turning point in dealing with that. And to crown it all, the death of the age must be the turning point in this fight against Galamsey. Major Muhammad died. We overlooked it. 8 are gone. We must not overlook it. It is telling us something that, hey, we have to confront the issue once and for all so that this country will be saved. Now, my brother put up an information. You see, that today let us do this to ourselves. Says someone has been arrested. Called Obama. That you are sitting.
Obama,
I'm coming.
Is that a subject?
You are sitting. Okay. You are sitting in this studio. You told us that you were just sent an information. Is that not the case? It means you yourself you are not privy to whatever happened. But you gave an information that the national security. It means you know the source. Those that came for you. National security, don't they have an office? If you are telling us that those that came there are national security operatives, then it means you know the people that came for him. So why don't you go to the national security and find out what is happening to them, rather than giving a blanket statement, just creating the impression that someone has been picked unnecessarily or illegally when you are not abreast with the full facts. That is not fair to those that are minding that institution.
The national security
Absolutely.
apparatus. All right.
No. At least give me a chance to respond to what he just said.
But you made a comment, I've responded.
I mean, what is the comment? Look,
you made a comment.
It's fair to say that a citizen was blocked from his residence and taken away.
But you said you have no information.
But I just think I put up.
So everybody said anything that you put it on her.
You don't know about
you know what somebody has said about you? I will read it because I'm not in the position to verify.
Solomon, when a citizen was blocked from his residence and taken away to an unknown place, when his family has not known where it is, and they are reaching out.
How do you know about that? That they don't know.
You made a comment. You said somebody has been picked.
And I have commented.
And then he also responded.
So why do you respond again?
So basically,
why do I respond again?
No, it's okay.